What did he do? He got outplayed by Brock Purdy. No, he got outplayed by Brock Purdy because all he needed to do was be average.
You didn't watch that game.
Yes, he did. What do you mean? He got outplayed by Purdy. Yes, he did. He got, bro. He didn't play good, bro. About to he didn't play good, but he outplayed Dak Prescott. What are you talking about?
I'm about to go back to sleep because you're sitting here lying and you do this a lot. You've been saying a lot of shit for clicks.
Can we stop lying? Because Dak Prescott, 23 for 37, 206 yards, one touchdown and 2 interceptions, a 63 quarterback rating, and then you see go Brock Purdy, 19 for 29, 214 yards, 0 TDs, 0 interceptions. 87 quarterback rating. He played better than him. And that's just a fact. So I don't know why you're trying to come up here and lie. He literally played better than nigga. Two interceptions. He put the ball. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the 54th episode of the Next Man Up podcast. We're missing Max. Max right now is in class. So it's just 3 people today on this episode, but he'll be in a later video. I think we're doing a preseason preview. Is that what we're gonna call it?
Yeah, basically a season preview.
But this episode is an all NFL episode, so just getting into it. We see that the 49ers dominate the Cowboys. See, Q he had his pick'ems, and that game really stood out to me. He had the Cowboys winning, and I was so confused. So I kind of want to go to Q first. Just tell me how you feel about the game, and then we can get into all those stuff.
The hottest team in the league won. The Cowboys lost. To act like the Cowboys might beat the 49ers would be silly. You acting like this, they got blown out every single time they played, which never happened. They lost by 1 score. Like, they just lost. Dak made a few mistakes.
A few.
A
few is it was more than a few. It was more than a few.
He threw 3 interceptions. 2 of them were definitely on him. 1 of them wasn't.
Okay, literally. But he also missed wide open receivers a lot. Like CD was open a lot. I mean, you could blame it on
CD was
coaching.
Getting clamped.
No, I've literally seen screenshots of him wide open.
CD was getting stop it. CD was getting clamped.
I'll show you after the podcast. I've seen
Davis Ward had him on clamps, and because CD is more of a slot receiver than an outside guy, he was getting it. He was trying to do a lot of his work in the best part of the 49ers defense, which is in the middle, where they have the best linebacker tandem in the league by far. He was getting clamped. If they had a true outside X receiver, it might have looked a lot different. Maybe not, but the scheme and the type of receiver he was, he literally got clamped. And Dak didn't make it that much easier. The run game ain't make it that much easier. The line ain't make it that much easier. Mike McCarthy didn't make it that much easier. Nobody was making it easier for nobody on that team. That's just the bottom line.
Travarius Ward did make some good plays. I watched the entire game until it got to like a blowout. Travarius Ward had a good game, but I've seen screenshots where it's always gonna be plays where CD Lamb is open and he got missed, and he was visibly frustrated after the game, which I completely understand. Now that's a combination of things. Not only did Mike McCarthy is still utilizing he's utilizing CD Lamb, CD wrong. Mike McCarthy is utilizing CD wrong. He's utilizing Brandon Cooks wrong. Over the last 3 weeks, I think CD has been under 55 yards, and Brandon Cooks has been under 35. He used them entirely wrong. So whether you think that's on Dak or it's probably majority on us, McCarthy, because we knew coming into the season that the play calling was going to take a dip because Brian McCarthy is not what Kellen Moore is. So whether you want to blame it on Dak, whether you want to blame it on McCarthy, there was plays where CD was open and he was not targeted, and that's the issue. Good point is about the San Francisco defense is the best at the middle field with Fred Warner and what's his name? I'm tripping.
Dre Greenlaw. And before you continue, I want to put the disclaimer out. I'm not absolving Dak for playing bad. I don't absolve Dak for playing bad. People wait on moments like this to really come on Dak like he loses to every team in the league, which is ridiculous. His worst losses, especially the playoff losses, are only to the 49ers. That's where he looks bad. So to harp on him for that, cool. But historically, Dak is a way better quarterback than most. He has a top 10 interception, lowest interception rate of all time, of every quarterback to ever play the game. So clearly he's not a big turnover machine. Maybe he's just playing the best defense in the league with the best coach in the conference by far. Use those. It's not an excuse, but it's a reason. It's 2 different things. He played bad. He made mistakes. A lot of people make mistakes against the 49ers. That's just it. I understand you, like you say, you paid quarterbacks to overcome, these problems. Those are like top 5 quarterbacks that usually overcome these problems. Dak is not a top 5 quarterback, so you just got to take the lumps. With Dak as your quarterback, you have to build your team how the 49ers build their team. Make sure everything is around them and everything fits.
Well, the thing about that is Brock Purdy is making $800,000 and Dak Prescott is making $40 million.
Exactly. But you know why Dak Prescott is making the type of money he is? Because when he first came in as a low draft pick and making a little bit amount of money, they built up that team and he balled out and put up incredible numbers, and you couldn't deny him getting the money that he got. You know what's going to happen to Brock Purdy?
He wasn't able to get it done though. He wasn't able to get it done.
What wasn't he able to get done?
A Super Bowl. That's what I'm talking about.
That doesn't mean anything when it comes to contracts, like at all. Like that means nothing.
I'm not talking about contracts. I'm just saying they had a great team around. They've had great teams around Dak Prescott. Even when I'm
not talking about no Super Bowl getting it done. Like I didn't say that at all. What I'm saying is he balled out with a loaded roster.
Yes.
Put up amazing numbers, and you were forced to pay him that money. You know what's going to happen when Brock Purdy balls out like he is and putting up amazing numbers like he is? It's going to be hard to deny him his money. You know what's going to happen when you pay Brock Purdy money? The roster is going to get depleted. And then what? You're probably going to be in the same situation that you're in with Dak Prescott or
it really depends.
Or whoever these low-end quarterbats. It doesn't depend on that. That's just the history.
It does depend. It does depend because I'm not saying the hypothetical. We've seen other quarterbacks flourish in this system. So if Brock Purdy is not able to get it done like Dak Prescott wasn't able to get it done, when I'm talking about get it done, I mean win a Super Bowl. We could see Kyle Shanahan pivot to another quarterback that is more seasoned, another quarterback that he think can get it done in the system. For instance, Kirk Cousins. For instance, you know what? Kirk Cousins. Anyways,
you know what Kirk Cousins is going to cost?
Stop interrupting me. He's going
to interrupt me already. You already interrupted me when I said what I said. You're about to say something that I just explained. Kirk Cousins, more season. Kirk Cousins is going to cost more money. What's going to happen? Yes. The roster is going to get depleted. You're not saying
It depends because he's a free agent coming out this offseason. So, anyways, that's $5 million. I'm not saying he's going to take $5 million, but when you get a better quarterback, which Kirk is obviously better than Brock Purdy, you can take some of that roster loss. When we've seen with Dak over the course of his 7-year career, he's had good rosters, even when he was getting paid a lot of money. Like for the last few seasons, they've had good rosters, and he has not been able to get it done in the playoffs. And he's been getting paid this amount of money and still has not been able to get it done. They paid Zeke, they paid Dak. And last season, they had a great defense and they had a good offense with Kellen Moore still there. He was not able to get it done. So we've seen spots where he was getting paid a lot of money. The thing was still good, and he still did not get it done. So
and ran into the same buzzsaw twice.
And that's, we're gonna talk about that later when Jaden, when he gets to answer the question, the headlines talking about this game, which is why that's my answer gonna be. So I'm waiting for Jaden to say that. Go ahead, you go ahead.
So you were kind of already getting into it, Chief. But do you think Dak can be a quarterback on a Super Bowl team?
Dak Prescott cannot win a championship for the Cowboys. He cannot. We've seen rosters. We've seen him. I'm talking about for. You hear? That's why I said the Cowboys. He cannot win a.
I just threw in a little extra question on there. But on the 49ers, he would, right? Or it'd be a better chance.
It would be better. Yes, of course. So listen, but that's a realistic situation that's never going to happen. But like I said, because why would they even? If I'm the 49ers, I wouldn't trade right now. I wouldn't trade Brock Purdy for Dak Prescott. On God, I wouldn't. I literally wouldn't. He's playing much better than him. I'm sorry. Now listen.
Now, do 1 year, bro. It's just 1 year,
bro. What? So did you not see the entire? Did you not see the entire last season? What are you talking about, Jay?
He didn't play the entire last season. 1.
He didn't play. Yeah.
2.
He played.
He only played like
7 games. Now, anyways, bro, let me finish. Dak Prescott is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback on the Cowboys. He's not. He's had good rosters over the years. Every time the moment gets big, he folds. He turns the ball over. If the running game is not going good, he turns the ball over. If the defense is not getting stops, he turns the ball over. We've seen this entire season when the defense doesn't create turnovers, he does not perform well. They have like 9 offensive touchdowns in 5 games, 5 or 6 games, whatever it is. When the moment get big, Dak Prescott folds. That's
just false.
It is.
That's just false.
Because what did he do last year in the playoffs? It don't matter if it's against the 49ers every single time. Like you said, you keep trying to exalt him getting paid $40 million. You're getting paid $40 million. Overcome.
Right. If he didn't, or playoff games, big games.
Yes.
What happened literally the week before he lost to the 49ers?
He beat the Bucs.
Did he or did he not show up?
He beat the Bucs, yes. But then at the highest moment of the season, at the highest moment of the season, what did he do? What did he do? He got outplayed by Brock Purdy. No, he got outplayed by Brock Purdy because all he needed to do was be average. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. What do you mean? He got outplayed by Purdy. Yes, he did. He got, bro. He didn't play good, bro. He didn't play good, but he outplayed Dak Prescott. What are you talking about?
I'm about to go back to sleep because you're sitting here lying and you do this a lot. You've been saying a lot of shit for clicks. Stop. Brock
I'm not. That's not the Cowboys. He didn't play good, but he played better than Dak Prescott.
Did not play good against the Cowboys.
Did I say he played good? Did I say he played good? No, I did not. He outplayed Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott. Yes, he did. No, he did not. Dak Prescott. All they needed was Dak Prescott to be average, and he couldn't even do that. He was terrible against the 49ers. The team just needed him to be average.
Just like he was terrible
in the highest moment of the season,
and he was terrible against the 49ers 2 years ago.
That's not going to be an excuse. That's not going to be an excuse.
Not been terrible in the playoffs. That's other moment. You never seen Dak Prescott bad in the playoffs except for against one team.
They didn't, bro. They literally missed the playoffs the year before that when he got injured. And so let's go down. We can go down.
In every Dak Prescott playoff game,
have they made an NFC Championship game? They have not. They have not.
You saying things that I ain't not even bringing up. In every playoff game that he has played, that
you trying to act like Brock Purdy literally outplayed him last year. We can go look at the stats. He outplayed him. It is what it is. Bro. He did, bro. He had a higher quarterback rating, if I'm not mistaken. He did, bro.
You really sitting here like you really fishing for clicks, like you really do this shit all the time, bro. It's really
I'm not fishing for clicks. You ask anybody, Brock Purdy outplayed Dak Prescott in the playoffs last year. Ask anybody. Like, he literally did.
You taking Brock Purdy over Dak right this year because he played better than him?
What?
You taking Brock Purdy over Dak because he playing better than him this year, right?
Is Brock Purdy a better quarterback than Dak? No, I never said that. Never came out.
No, you said I never said that either. I literally just said you said you're taking Brock Purdy over Dak because he's playing better than him.
Would I trade him for Dak right now? No, I would not.
And what you said why? And you said why? Because Brock Purdy is playing better than him this year. Right or wrong?
Yes, and they're not in drastically
all right, stop. Yes, no question. Next question. Are you taking Brock Purdy over Josh Allen?
No.
Are you taking him over Justin?
You're acting like that's not a serious difference because you're acting like it's not really a big gap between Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott right now. You act like it's not, bro. As far as like, because Dak is at
the numbers.
It's not about numbers. It's not about numbers. Because Brock Purdy right now is a top 15 quarterback. He's a top 15 quarterback. Brock Purdy right now is a top 15 quarterback.
I feel like we're jumping the gun, bro. We can just get into it. We can really just get into it.
How do you know he's playing better than Dak Prescott if you're not talking about the numbers?
Because last when they played them against the Cowboys, it was not just about the numbers. He was making great passes, tight window passes. It wasn't just about the numbers. We seen them get. Hold on. James.
Never seen that, bro.
Did you not watch the game? It was literally they got a penalty, pushing back to 3rd and 14. I literally watched the entire game. It was 3rd and 14. He made play after play on that drive. What are you talking about?
Brock Purdy's passes get thrown to a wide open receiver or running back
against a top 10 defense last night. Against a top 10 defense the other night, it wasn't wide open passes every time. He made play after play after play. Y'all just want to give Brock Purdy
every Brandon Ayuk pass. Every pass Brandon Ayuk.
He made tight window pass last year. He made dimes last game. It wasn't just wide open stuff, bro. We don't have to lie.
Hold it. This leaves me the perfect spot to pivot. A lot of people are putting Brock Purdy in a whole bunch of conversations. I'm hearing a lot of people say, can he win MVP? Is Brock Purdy not a system quarterback? Is he past all that? So I'm glad y'all started talking about this.
Is he putting up the best numbers in the league at quarterback? Yes. Is he the best quarterback? Not even close. You know why? Because it's the fucking system and coaching, bro. That's obvious. We acting serious, bro.
Okay.
All right, wait. So hold on. Before we get into this, can we stop lying? Because Dak Prescott, 23 for 37, 206 yards, one touchdown, and 2 interceptions, a 63 quarterback rating. And then you see Brock Purdy, 19 for 29, 214 yards, 0 TDs, 0 interceptions, 87 quarterback rating. He played better than him, and that's just a fact. So I don't know why you're trying to come up here and lie. He literally played better than nigga.
Bro,
2 interceptions. He put the ball. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter.
You heard
he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't turn the ball over. He did not turn the ball over. He did not turn the ball over. Dak turned the ball over. Dak turned the ball over. What are we lying for? You're literally lying, bro. You try to know. You try to say no. You try to say
many more yards.
You tried to say. I said something for clicks, and you lied, bro. You lied. You tried to say I said something for clicks. It's a really fact that he played better than him. He did, bro. He literally did.
Hold on. 8 more yards.
He had 2 turnovers. He literally cost them the game. Dak Prescott was the biggest reason they lost last year because he's not good against the 49ers.
Even close to the reason why they won last year.
I never said he did. He was better than Dak Prescott. And that's a fact.
When you ain't got to do too much, and when your quarterback has to do a lot more, like that's obvious.
Bro, you acting like the Cowboys roster is trash. He missed CeeDee so many times in that playoff game.
I don't give a fuck what you talking about. If you put Brock Purdy on the Cowboys, he's not going to perform how he does on the 49ers.
Did he play better than him Did he play better than him in the game? Did he play better than him in the game? Did he play better than him in the game? Yes or no? Who played better last year in the division round? Who played better than last year in the division round? Because you're lying. He's trying to accuse me of saying
I don't
do that, bro. Like, we don't got to do that, bro.
Actually, stop.
You're really a clickbait monster. Like, you really a clickbait monster. It's ridiculous.
Worst quarterback rating. What way did he play better than him? Brock Purdy was better than him, bro. He took care of the ball. That's all he needed to do. All you need Dak was be the average. He couldn't be average. He couldn't be average.
Brock Purdy playing better than Patrick Mahomes this year?
Why are you sending the question? That's not what we're talking about.
Ask me a question.
Because
you a number monster.
We're talking about a division round game right now. What are you talking about? You're the only one going to say Dak Prescott played better than Brock Purdy. Now you're just lying, bro.
Quarterback rating. It's higher than him, right? You know, this year, his quarterback
rating. He turned the ball over twice.
Patrick Mahomes turned the ball over. Is Brock Purdy the top quarterback? Yes or no?
No. Is he playing better than Patrick Mahomes this season? Yes. I mean, like, he literally is.
Is he better than him?
No, that's not what we asking. No, we asked who played better in the game. Who played better in the game? I'm asking you who played better in the game.
And I'm telling you, I already gave you the answer. You're trying
to not Dak Prescott. It's not Dak Prescott.
He had 8 more yards.
He didn't turn the ball over. He was average. That's all they needed. That's all they needed Dak Prescott to be is average, and he couldn't do that. Brock Purdy was at least average.
They didn't need Brock Purdy to do nothing.
That's fine. He still played better than him. He literally did.
They don't need Brock Purdy to do nothing on that team. They didn't need to do nothing. You could have put any other quarterback behind that on that team last year, and the same thing probably would have happened because they don't got to do nothing at all. So 5 yards slants and 3 yard drags.
Who played? One quarterback turned the ball over twice that literally cost their team. Like, they literally left the points after that. And one quarterback was a game manager, and one quarterback was a game manager. And one quarterback was a game manager and didn't turn the ball over. Who played better?
Cold with shackles.
What are you talking about, bro?
And one is getting play cold with shackles.
Last year he had Kellen Moore. What are we talking about? I'm talking about the division round.
Play cold with shackles.
Kellen Moore was playing cold with shackles last year.
I never said that. I never said that.
We're talking about one game. We're talking about one game.
Because we've been on this too long, bro. It's time to get into Would You Rather, bro. Y'all just talking at this point. All right. So a lot of people have been putting Brock Purdy in these conversations, as you heard Latif and Q arguing. So this puts us in the perfect spot to do a Would You Rather. Hearing a lot of people saying, can he be MVP? He's playing like the best quarterback. He's far past the system QB. So we're just gonna see what what Latif, Q, and I have to say about him compared to all the other quarterbacks in the league. So, would you rather Brock Purdy or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Damn, I wonder why though, because Brock Purdy playing better than Kirk Cousins. Hey,
he's not a better quarterback now. We know that. We know that, bro.
All right.
I didn't say Dak was better. I didn't say.
What are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? Niggas be digging. Stand by your conviction. Pick Brock Purdy every single time.
That's not what I'm saying, bro. You trying to now you're being dense.
He did say Dak was better than Brock Purdy. He did say that.
You're being dense right now. You're being dense.
You are being dense.
Yes, you are.
You are being dense.
I'm not being dense.
So Would you rather Brock Purdy or Tua?
Tua.
I'll take Tua.
All right. Would you rather Brock Purdy or Derek Carr?
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Derek Carr has been looking pretty mid for like past 2 seasons. So, uh, would you rather Brock Purdy or Geno Smith?
Gino.
I'll take Geno. If he was in that situation with Kyle Shanahan, I think he'd be playing amazingly too.
All right, last one. We already said we already Latif and Q already said who they're taking. Would you rather Brock Purdy or Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott.
I'll take that.
All right. So that was entertaining. That's the first time I ever seen Latif and Q get real scrappy. So that was good to see. Hold on. I
Niggas a
gotta.
dick rider.
Bro, what does when you hate Dak? I've defended Dak every single time. People start lying about him, but we don't act like he didn't play better than Brock Purdy. He didn't play better than Brock Purdy in the division round, bro. I'm telling you, he did not.
It was fairly
Alright,
even.
so
Brock Purdy did not play
not.
well in that game at all.
He played
have to
average.
do anything.
He played average. Dak Prescott was below average. He was. That's like it's not really a debate. He literally played below average.
all right, so let's hop into the next topic. That went by pretty fast. A lot of the content came from I guess a Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott debate. I didn't think we were going to get into that, but pivoting into the next topic. This is actually very exciting for me. The Bears win their first game of the season. Teeth, I know you said you wanted to ask a specific question, and also I do want you to revisit a specific take that you had about a week or two ago. Um, yeah, so you can get into that.
All right, I just want to so we know the Bears just won their first game. Justin Fields has been balling for the last 2 games. Is there anything Fields can do to save the Bears from drafting Caleb Williams or Drake May?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you think if he balls out for the rest of the season, they won't draft Caleb?
Yeah.
it would be a conversation. It'd be a conversation. If he plays exactly how he played the last 2 weeks for the next 10 games, 11 games, it's going to be a hard decision to move off of Justin Fields because the last 2 games they've been doing play calling really well. They've been throwing the ball to their best receiver and seeing what happens when you throw the ball to your best receiver, your best offensive weapon. Obviously, good things are going to happen more than not. They should have been doing that. They're allowing Justin Fields to get out the pocket. They're allowing him to run. They're opening up the game. That's all it is. It's going to be hard because they don't have no running backs and they don't got no corners. They don't got no real help. He's just going to have to go out there and ball. If they lose a bunch of games, but he plays well, they're going to have a conversation.
Exactly.
With this Bears, people act like it's more on the Bears than it is on Justin Fields. Clearly, they have not done much to help him. Like, clearly. Bryce Young wouldn't have came into this Bears team and helped him. Like, he wouldn't have helped him. There's a strong chance that drafting Caleb Williams into this same situation ain't going to help him either. And then in 3 years' time, with this same situation, we're going to call Caleb Williams a bust. This is a Chicago Bears as an organization. It's their problem. It's not really a Justin Fields problem. If Justin Fields would have landed in a different spot, he probably would have looked a lot better because it would have been better coaching. Like, if San Francisco would have drafted Justin Fields, he would have looked a lot better. Nobody would be calling him a bust because clearly there's traits that you've seen in college that can transfer to the NFL. Like, that's obvious. It's a 2 thing. Maybe Justin Fields is not doing as much, but it's hard to do a lot when you're not giving a lot. So it's a 2-way street. They probably still going to draft Caleb, even if he balls out, just to try to reset it because this is a year to try and see if you want to pay him, and you got to pick up his option. And you might, get out of having to pay a quarterback $20 million that you don't really want. So all signs might point to just draft Caleb, but they got to do something internally before they decide we need a new quarterback to fix a problem that they couldn't fix for the past 10 years. It's more to it than just Justin Fields.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad at you, Q. And the reason why I'm mad at you is because you took everything I was going to say. Coming into the season, I didn't expect the Bears to be good at all. But my whole conviction was that the Bears could be bad. But if Justin Fields is showing some type of improvement, if he's showing that he could be the quarterback of the future, then I'm not gonna be mad at it. The problem was in the first 2, 3 games. No, I would say first first 2 games, he looked terrible. Like he looked bad, and it was looking like, all right, now it's time to get Caleb Williams. But now it's looking like he's got his confidence back. He's throwing the ball. He's getting the ball to DJ Moore. Play as you said, play calling looks way better. So if he just continues to play like this, then I feel like it is kind of bad skipping over a guy like Caleb Williams. But I've seen a lot of Bears fans talk about getting Marvin Harrison uh with the first pick. I know, Teef, you said that was crazy, but if Justin Fields keeps performing like this, I don't think it's a need to necessarily get Caleb Williams.
If the Panthers are still bad and they get the first pick, Caleb Williams is a no-brainer. He's a generational prospect. He's one of the best prospects we ever seen in NFL history. Probably the best we've seen either Trevor Lawrence or Andrew Luck. If he is there, you take him. You don't think about it at all. Even if Justin Fields plays amazingly for the rest of the season, that'll bid up his trade value, ship him to the Falcons, ship him to another team where he can go somewhere and still have a good career. But this is Caleb Williams we're talking about. We're talking about a generational prospect. You don't want to be the team that passes up on Caleb Williams because you've seen a good season from Justin Fields when we have other seasons of Justin Fields not playing well. Also, we had to see what he looks like against good defenses as well. So I think this entire regime should be scrapped at the end of the season. I think they should hire a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator. Maybe package Caleb Williams or Lincoln Riley as a bring Lincoln Riley maybe as an offensive coordinator, not the head coach though. I don't think he should be a head coach, no. But I don't think it's anything Justin Fields can do for them not to pick Caleb Williams if they have the opportunity. It's gonna be enticing. It's gonna be a conversation because obviously the haul you can get back for a generational prospect would be amazing. But this is Caleb Williams we're talking about. This is one of the best prospects ever. So
look, before you go on, a generational prospect that can also come in and be bad. He can also come into a bad situation and be bad. But you know what you said? Fire the whole regime and start new. When you didn't allow that to happen with Justin Fields. Like nobody, you ain't allowed that to happen. So you're saying let's do right by Caleb Williams and let's not do right by the player that we have right now who has a skill set and who has the attributes to be a good quarterback. We're not going to allow him to do it. We're going to throw him out and we're going to make sure everything's right for the next person. That's all you're telling him. Like that's all you're saying. I'm not saying it's a bad idea to go after Caleb, but you're choosing one and not the other. You're choosing to do right by one and not the other. You're giving
I respond to that. So listen, when they brought in Eberflus, Gessie, it's correct that Justin Fields wasn't his guy, right? He didn't draft him. So I think they'll be more inclined to go and get that guy in Caleb Williams. This is someone that they've scouted, they wanted to get. This is a no-brainer. So we've seen multiple times where offense coordinator, head coach, even GM, this is not their guy. This is not Justin Fields. This is an old regime guy. And so that's why I say fire this regime and bring in new energy.
That's not their guy either. Justin Fields he's not a Ryan Post, Matt Eberflus guy either.
I just said that's my point. That's my point.
So you let Justin Fields go through two different regimes where he has to try out for the people that he weren't there for, like people that didn't want him, not necessarily want him, but two people that didn't sit there scout him and pick him. Like, yeah, we want you. No, these two regimes ain't do it. Like they didn't do that. Like you feel me? Like he's just been in a state of trying to prove himself to people that never even wanted him. Caleb Williams don't got to prove himself. They're just gonna pick him. Like you're making Justin Fields work for it, and you're just saying, oh, Caleb Williams don't have to work for it. It's kind of unfair, but I guess that's the nature of the league. But I guess
no. So my entire point was that this is not their guy. So that's why they'd be more inclined to move off of him. In the offseason, especially you got and then with the other picks. So like, let's say they get a top 5 pick. I think they should either go defense or tackle. If I think it was named Oli is at the top of the board. You go get him, or maybe Jared Verse if he's at the top of the board. We about to get into. It's about to be time to start talking draft, and so I think this is about the time we start talking about it last year, maybe December was. I don't know. In a few more months, we'll be talking draft a little bit more. So yeah, that'll be time to talk about that. But we are monitoring the situation in Chicago. I'm glad to see them get their first win, especially RP Dick Buckus for sure too. He definitely he passed away, Chicago legend, and I want to see Chicago do good. Like all the teams in Chicago suck right now, so I want to see Chicago do good. So I don't know whether it's keeping Justin Fields, trading the first round pick, and then building a haul or a competent team around Justin Fields. I think he'd be a great quarterback. But what do you think Caleb Williams' potential is? Caleb Williams' potential is a top 5, top 3 quarterback in the league. Do you think Justin Fields' potential is that with a great situation around him?
Yes, because Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts right now is regarded as a top 10 quarterback. Justin Fields has been better than Jalen Hurts basically his whole college career. And he's a bigger, stronger, faster version of what Jalen Hurts is. Jalen Hurts was a bottom 15 quarterback coming into last year. Great roster, got some coaching, and he got play calling that fit his play style, and he shot up. That never has happened for Justin Fields yet. If you swap Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields, and you give him 2 years with whoever they had, Shane Steichen, whatever, he probably does this about the same. I'm not saying he goes to the Super Bowl, but he can flourish with 2 number 1 receivers, the best O-line in the league, a running game, and a defense that could give him short fields. I'm pretty sure that can happen because you don't just lose talent. Justin Fields ain't lose talent. He's just not getting coached properly. He's not given opportunity. He doesn't have the talent around him. That's just a matter of fact. They're using their assets wrong. They're not really doing anything to help Justin Fields.
Yeah, but so the harder they'll get back for Caleb Williams, I don't know. It's gonna take a while. I don't know, man, because it's either draft Caleb Williams and you still had the problems with the defense. You still had the problems, unless you get like Marvin Harrison Jr., which is probably not feasible right now. I don't think the Bears are going to end up with the second overall pick. I don't know. They got is Brock Bowers up there, who I don't think you go tight in that early. So basically, Caleb Williams is going to come in with DJ Moore and Darnell Mooney as 2 weapons. A bad offensive line.
They'll have back-to-back picks. Right now, the Bears have the first 2 picks, or should have the first 2 picks between their pick and Carolina. So they can go Caleb and Marvin Harrison Jr. Like it's feasible. They can get both. It's just a matter: do you go Marvin Harrison or do you go Caleb Williams and you go tackle? You go Caleb Williams and you go. There's no real generational defender that's coming out like a Jalen Carter. Jared versus cool. He's an edge rusher. Like you need edge rushers. He's not the clear cut. You take him over Marvin Harrison Jr. You go Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams. You give yourself 2 number 1 receivers, and you figure everything else later. You can get tackles. You can get defenders later on in the drafts. There's a lot of 2nd and 3rd round guys, especially corners. There's at least 10 corners that could go in the first 3 rounds that you could go and get. A couple edge rushers, a couple guards, a couple tackles. You can fill out the roster, and they still have free agency money. They can go out and make it, pay for some free agents. There's some edge rushers that's going to be available this year, so they can still build the team.
Hey, Jake, you here?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next segment. I think we really cool with that.
All right, you can introduce this one.
All right, we got this new segment we're gonna be doing for NBA and NFL. I see other renditions of this. People doing like in or out, stuff like that. But we're gonna call it buying or selling. We're gonna say 5 headlines or 5 statements, and if you agree with it, you go buy. If you don't agree with it, you sell it. So the first statement, the Ravens aren't a serious contender. Are you buying or selling that? I'll start with you. Yeah,
I'd still buy 3-2. That doesn't really move me. And this is based on that last game.
Hold on. No, that means if you disagree with it, that means you're selling it.
Oh, I'm selling that. Yesterday was a bad game. They had to. On a disclaimer, Lamar has the most turnovers, through 5 weeks than anybody. In terms of fumbles, he had 7 fumbles. He also had a bad. It wasn't a bad pick. It was a 50-50 ball. Joey Porter made he made the play, threw a pick. In the 4th quarter. Sure, it looks bad. That game was supposed to be a blowout. There was 8 drop passes. Rashad Bateman and Nelson Aguilar dropped 2 touchdowns in the end zone. So they should have been winning that game, 30 to whatever it was at. and they allowed Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett to run the, go down the field in 20 seconds and score, and then, bad fumble. But they should never been in that situation in the first place. It's a lot of drops. And you could see Lamar being visually frustrated. Zay Flowers, he has his hands this wide trying to catch the ball. There was a report out that Todd Monken was helping him. He was trying to get him to catch the ball better by throwing a rugby ball around. I don't know why you would throw him a rugby ball to try and catch a rugby ball this big. So naturally, you're going to go into the game with their hands out like this instead of their hands like this. You can't catch the ball like that. Of course, it's going to drop. It's just stupid. Drops is an issue. Other than that, they're playing great defense. They just got to clean them things up, and they should be fine. The next stretch of games, they should go on to win like 6 of the next 8, and we'll be right back in contention. They pretty much have a stronghold on the division after that 6-week stretch, especially since Joe Burrow, he's looking like something. The Steelers are always going to be in games. The Browns should always be in games of the defense, but they have the quarterback and the defense that should allow them to go on and win a stretch of games that can give them a cushion. So they should still be contenders.
I'm going to buy it because it is not an indictment on Lamar Jackson at all. He's playing amazing to start the season quietly. He had a good game, I think, against the Steelers. I do not trust their weapons at all, and they're going to need the weapons in the playoffs. Obviously, going to be able to keep games close because their defense is one of the best in the NFL. But OBJ, who they just signed to a $15 million contract, cannot create any separation at all. He is washed. I like Zay Flowers and what he brings to the field. I like Mark Andrews as well, but Devin Duvernay is not good. Who else do they have? Nelson Aguilar is not good. The team is facing injury again. Still don't have much of a running game outside of Lamar Jackson. So I can't take them as a serious contender until they put more competent weapons, until they can stay healthy and put stuff around Lamar Jackson. I just can't do it. We see other teams, though, still dealing with injury, like the Bills are dealing with injury. I still probably take the Bills over them in the playoff matchup. I probably would still take the Chiefs over them in the playoff matchup. So, and then, the Jags are an iffy team. So, it's going to be a tough road. And I don't think not having the weapons is going to help them. You got to ask Lamar Jackson to be Superman every single week in, week out. He doesn't even get a chance to play bad, a chance to rely on other, you know how other quarterbacks have receivers they can rely on, stuff like that. All he has is his defense. Todd Markinen, whatever his name is, Greg Markin, whatever his name is. Yeah, Todd Monken. He's been a great OC. He's changed the energy around the Ravens right now. A lot better passing game than what they had the last few seasons, but the weapons are just not there. Zay Flowers young. Mark Andrews is going to be who Mark Andrews is, but the rest of the situation is just chaotic.
Yeah, but it's been the same. Like that's the whole thing. Like it's always been Lamar Jackson or bust. It's always been defense and Lamar, and they've won 12 games, 13 games just like that. They've been 8-3 before he gone down. The only downside to this is Lamar Jackson has to carry. In the last 2 times we've seen Lamar Jackson have to carry an injury depleted and weapon depleted roster. It led to injuries late in the season. And they're going to use that as another thing, the reason why they should have paid him. But you're not doing anything else to surround him with enough help that he should be able to sustain things. But that's why you pay quarterbacks to get through it. But quarterbacks still need somebody to throw to. Quarterbacks still need their receivers to catch the ball. Quarterbacks still need a defense. They still need a running game, make it easier. Don't like that. That's just it. Like you got to put them around. And the whole thing of the belief in the Ravens that even though these aren't great weapons, these are way better weapons than he's had before. Like these weapons are okay. You feel me? The weapons he had before were trash. Like that's just it. Just that the jump from trash to okay made everyone, myself included, believe like they can go out there and win games, and they still have won games. I didn't say they were going to win because of Lamar. I thought the defense still lead the way. They should still have short fields. They should still be able to run the ball. If they can do that, they should still be in games. If everything is close, if they win close games, they win close games. If they lose close games, they lose close games. But they should win more than they should lose.
When it comes down to the playoffs, you need explosive options and weapons. I don't think they have right now. 8 drops is crazy. Next statement. The Panthers made a mistake drafting Bryce Young.
Yes.
All right, so you're buying it?
Oh, yeah, I'm buying it. I wasn't a Bryce Young guy. I thought they should have won CJ Stroud. That look a lot more clear now. I even entertain the fact that I like AR, especially like with when you have like a team that isn't good, or they don't have like the great roster or the great weapons. You either take a CJ Stroud who could, even if the weapons aren't great, he ball placement. He doesn't have great weapons in Houston. He's just placing the ball there. They're good enough. I guess they're solid, and he's putting the ball where they need to be. He's hitting the open guy. Or you get the uber talented, uber athletic player that can make things happen on their own. And Anthony Richards, even though he's hurt right now, he's still making things happen on his own. He's getting scores by himself. You do that, and you could build around that. You got 3 years with an Anthony Richardson for him to be better, learn the game, and then you give him that receiver year 3, or you give him the roster, and hopefully he just blows up, but you let him go through the lumps. It's hard to take lumps when you're 5'10", 5'11", 190 pounds, can't see over the O-lineman, your weapons don't get separation, you can't throw the ball down the field that much. Like it's hard pressed. Like the roster wasn't built out properly. And even if it was, I still would have went with the bigger guy, the stronger guy, the better athlete. Like that's just where we're going at right now with the league. Like get the best athlete. The ball placement, point guard of the quarterback position, that only works when you got the weapons to really distribute like that.
I'm buying that as well. I think he would have worked better for his situation. They have a bad offensive line. They don't have the greatest weapons at all. So and you had that 6'3" quarterback that can make any throw on the field, that's great in the pocket. I feel like he'd work better for what you have. And you could justify trading all of that to go get Bryce Young. I love Bryce Young. I'm an Alabama fan. I'm still high on Bryce Young. I think what he can do outside the pocket, the plays he can make, he's even good at throwing it in the middle of the field despite his size. I just think it would have been better to just draft CJ Stroud for this specific situation. Honestly, I think CJ Stroud has better weapons on the Texans. You can't convince me. Like Tank Dell, Nico Collins, the way they're able to stretch the field and play back after the catch is better than what he has.
No, it's definitely better than anything he has in Carolina.
Yeah, so,
but the weapon in the grand scheme of things, the Houston
weapons aren't
good. For me, but
they're not.
They're just that much better, and he's able to get the ball to them. Like I don't know if he gets the ball to better than Bryce Young, but right now he does. And he also was dealing with a team that has no O-line. Like they have no O-line. They don't really have a running game either. It's a lot of just CJ Stroud going out there and throwing the ball. And he's doing it well. He hasn't thrown a pick yet. So
I'm buying that too. Next statement. The Patriots should move on from Mac Jones.
Bye.
I'm going to sell it. I think Mac Jones is the least of their worries. I'm not going to lie. Their weapons are trash. They gave him a year with Matt Patricia as the offensive coordinator. The defense has injuries. The offensive line is mid. I think they have so many other problems with Mac Jones. When they start their rebuild, they didn't go in other directions. Possibly draft an actual good receiver. I don't know why they won't draft a good receiver. Bill Belichick needs to stop drafting players. He's not good at it. So, I'm gonna sell that. I don't think Mac Jones is the root of their issues.
No, he's not the root of their issues, but the way the league works, 8 times out of 10, you're gonna blame the quarterback, and it's gonna be hard. People ain't like now. People are trying to blame Bill Belichick, but y'all should have been doing that. Like he's been a bad GM. He doesn't draft offense well. He drafts positions of not need, and he overpays positions that you shouldn't overpay. Like you can't draft tight ends, so you go out there and overpay for tight ends 3 years in a row. There's no reason why you should have paid both Mike Gesicki and Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Like there's no reason why you should have been paying them $10 million a year. That was crazy. Moving up in the draft to draft Cole Strange in like the first or the second, crazy. What else? Letting Jacoby Myers ain't a great receiver, but you let go Jacoby Myers and then bring in Juju, who I would have kept. If all that, you should just kept Jacoby Myers, who already has a rapport with Mac Jones. Like there's a lot of things.
Also just better than Juju. He's just also better than Juju. Like
Juju looked great because he had 900 yards because he was with Patrick Mahomes. Mac Jones ain't Patrick Mahomes. His whole philosophy is just. I don't want to say it's outdated, but it's outdated. He shouldn't be a GM. He should just be a coach. And that's it. Like, let somebody else deal with the personnel because it's easy to focus on one thing. You just strictly be a coach and let somebody deal with the weapons and you just figure it out. Like, he wants to be the everything for the Patriots and it's just not working. Like, divvy up the responsibilities and see what's going on.
All right. Last statement. The Vikings should trade Kirk Cousins and tank for Caleb Williams or Drake May.
Bye. And it's not a Kirk Cousins. It's not because Kirk Cousins is super trash. He's still a borderline top 10 quarterback. It's time. Like, it's been 5 years of mediocrity. In between those 5 years, they have made the playoffs twice. They have, won a playoff game, but it's just not enough. And it's almost that time to pay Justin Jefferson, so money's going to start being tight. You already paid TJ. You got Cam Akers on the team. I don't know if they're keeping Cam Akers, but he's going to might need a contract. It's a contract year. You might let him go. You might not. The team also needs help on defense, so you need to spend draft picks on defense. Kirk Cousins just doesn't fit the timeline. Like, most of their important players are like 25 and under. So you might as well give the program. They're not going to be a team to beat probably next year, but, you're going to have to pay Justin Jefferson. You might as well bring a young quarterback in there, build the roster out with, actual good players, good draft picks, and see what happens. And let Kirk Cousins go play for a contender who just need a plug-and-play quarterback that can, make all the throws and call it a day, make it a mutual thing. Like, that's just what it is. They've been stuck in mediocrity. You either got to take the hit or, be stuck. And they're like the Steelers of the NFC. They're never bad enough to get a high draft pick, but they're never good enough to really make any noise. So it's time.
I'm buying that too. He has no trade clause. Just try to work out with him. Tell him, like, you're not a part of our future plans, so we're not going to re-sign you this offseason. Let's get you in a situation where you want to go, possibly get some draft assets back. This season is over. They're 1-4. Justin Jefferson just sprained his hamstring, whatever he did. He's out for at least 4 weeks. They have some toss-up games coming up. This season is over. You might as well, I don't think the Vikings should be mediocre, win enough games to where the point they don't get Caleb May or Drake May or Caleb Williams, and then go into the offseason and have to re-sign Kirk Cousins. It's like, it doesn't make sense. You need to be bad enough where you're able to get Drake May and then restart the franchise, instead of being good enough where you win like 5, 6, 7 games and then you can't draft Caleb Williams or Drake May, and then you're stuck with Kirk in a bad defense. It just doesn't make sense. I would trade him while I can.
They already have everything in place though. Like, they already have the offensive coach who already proved that he could call an offense. They have the weapons already between the two wide receivers, TJ Hawkinson. They have the weapons to throw to. They only need a running back, some linemen, and defense. They can literally wait all their picks on defense, and in linemen. That's just how it goes. And then let Brian Flores. He has a problem. Like, his philosophy, like, he likes to blitz a lot, so that leaves their back end, vulnerable. So you could throw on the Vikings. If he had actual, corners, he might not be. He can probably still pull off that blitz scheme, but the corners are locking up. Like, it's certain things that the team doesn't allow them to do. So you might as well go cheap on the deep, go cheap everywhere, and see what you can do. Figure it out. Yeah, my mom calling me.
All right, that was the last of the buying or selling. We're gonna continue that in NBA season. We might bring it back, honestly, for our season in preview. If you're watching this right now, make sure you subscribe to the channel and our social medias. And if you're watching this, by the time you're watching this, never mind. I'm tripping. Never mind. I'm tripping. I was gonna say the season preview will be out. It won't be out. But anyways, let's get into our Week 6 power rankings. It's gonna be a lot of change up here. Bills lost, Cowboys lost, in disgusting fashion. So they will be moving down my power rankings personally. So I'll start off the list. Q and Jake, where y'all at, man?
I'm here.
All right. So my number one is not going to change until they lose. The Niners are the best team in the NFL comfortably. They showed that in the domination against the Cowboys. They're number one. Number two are going to be the Eagles, moving up. They're 5-0. They played a good team in the Rams, and while it was a little bit close, they still handle business. Until they lose, it's going to be hard to move them down the ranker either. And number three, I have the Chiefs. They have not lost since week 1. They just find a way to win every week. Whether it's a close game against the Jets, whether it's a close game against the Vikings, they find a way. Patrick Mahomes finds a way.
I guess it's a toss up between them and Miami, but I guess you could go with the Chiefs. They did have a close game against the Vikings that was kind of controversial. But if you want to give them the best player in the league, multiply, we could do that. But the Miami has been more dominant in all their wins than Kansas City has, and
they don't have a bad as loss as the Dolphins.
yeah, they don't have a bad as a loss, but they don't have as dominant as wins as the Dolphins. Like the Dolphins in their wins outside of the Chargers game, they're usually like 2-score wins.
They didn't beat the Patriots by 2 scores.
What it was like 8.
I think they won by I mean, Patriots. It was a close game.
Yeah, to the end. Like I'm pretty. It was like
it was 24-17.
Yeah.
So
like 8-1.
So the only dominant wins they had was what
this one in the Broncos.
Yeah.
But everybody, the Broncos little that beating the Broncos now that's like we getting off. We're the farther we get from them, we're getting closer to understanding that the Broncos are just like a bad defense and anybody can run up the score on them.
That's like beating the college team at this point. Now this is where it gets interesting. The Dolphins beat the Bills, right? I mean, the Bills beat the Dolphins, but they have 2 losses. The Dolphins only have 1 loss, but they got beat bad by the Bills. The Bills just lost to the Jaguars in a close game. So, do you have the Dolphins or the Bills at 4?
On a biased pick, I still take the Bills over the Dolphins because I believe the Bills are just a better team. Unbiased, I'd probably still go the Bills, but Miami's 4-1. I'm gonna give the huh?
This is not a standing.
Yeah,
this is not a standing.
I know that. Trust me, I know that. But the just because they got the better record, I'm gonna give them a slight edge. And you could like the loss to the Jags. It's like there's a lot of things that came. Like the Bills are depleted. The defense is damn near like on crutches. And it was a 1-score game, like, in the fourth quarter. Like the Josh Allen pick, we all understand that pick interception wasn't like a mistake. It wasn't no hero ball. It was just, I got a 50-50 ball with a top 5 receiver in the league. And, hopefully he makes a play. He makes a play or he doesn't. You got to take that shot anyway. He took the shot. He got it. Darius Williams wrestled it basically out of Stephon Diggs' hands, and that led to the interception. They get that play, they probably score down in the red zone because they're good at scoring in the red zone this year. And we're looking at a whole different, thing. It's just the little things that change. Like if Miami and the Dolphins face again, Miami and the Bills face again, I probably still have the Bills. So I'm gonna just put the Bills at, what are we at, 4? 5?
4.
Yeah, I put the Bills at 4.
I'm gonna go Dolphins here just because, yes, I feel like the Bills were a better team 2 weeks ago, but they just lost Matt Milano. They already lost Trey White. It's like their injuries is piling up on top of them. And so I feel like when they face them again, Matt Milano's off for the season, Trey White's off for the season. It might be a whole entirely different game because I think the Dolphins will be more comfortable moving the ball on them. And now they signed Josh Norman. That's how desperate they are. So right now, I'm going to put the Dolphins at 4. They have a better record, and the Bills have just suffered so many injuries. I think it's going to affect them. We probably talk about that later on, like in future episodes. We try to do like a contenders and pretenders thing because I think losing Matt Milano, losing Trey White, a big blow to that defense. Von Miller came back, but he's still getting back in the swing of things. So I'm not expecting much about him for a few more weeks. I'm gonna put the Dolphins at 4. Jaden, are you here? Do you have any thoughts on that? Okay. So Q, are you fighting me on it, or do you want to put the Dolphins in? Okay. You're muted too. I can hear you.
Oh, I said I'm not fighting on it. The gap between the two teams shouldn't be like, if the Dolphins are at 4, I don't think the Bills are at like 8. You feel me? Like,
all right,
and vice versa. Like, if I had the Bills there, I don't think the Dolphins move farther than 6. They should still be in the top 5.
All right. So we gonna put the Dolphins at 4, the Bills at 5. Ooh, I mean, the Jags did beat the Bills. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they did, but they also don't have dominant wins. Like they have not looked good, like very good. They just have the wins. Like again, power rank is like college football rank is how well did you win? Like what did you look like against your competition? They didn't look overwhelmingly dominant against any team this year. They've gotten their wins, but all wins aren't equal.
They lost to the Jets. I mean, they lost to the Texans and they lost to the Chiefs, which I think is about the same type of losses as the Bills.
They didn't lose to the Texans. They didn't lose to the Texans. The Texans destroyed them. The Bills ain't get destroyed yet. Like they've had bad losses, but they ain't have a 30-2 loss, a 30-3 loss. That just ain't happened. Like all their losses are usually one score games.
All right, so I have the Jags at 6. At 7, I have the Lions. The Lions are what? They've only had one loss this year, right? They're 4-1.
I would have the Lions ahead of the Jags. They have not the Jags have not played as well as the Lions. Like not even a little bit.
The Lions wins are against the Chiefs. The Lions wins are against the Packers. The Lions wins against the Falcons.
Atlanta. And who they play last week? Who they just beat?
I don't think it was anybody that crazy good though. Lions schedule. Let's see. They beat the Panthers by 20 points. They dropped 42 points on the Panthers defense.
Yeah, and that was without Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, who they haven't really been using that much. Jamo had
so what are the teams as of right now?
It's the Niners, Eagles, Chiefs, Dolphins, Bills. Which right now we're talking about 6. The Lions or the Jags, and I agree with Q's thought process. We gonna put the Lions at 6. 7 we can go Jaguars. 8 I'm gonna put the Ravens.
Got to.
8 I'm gonna put the Ravens, and then 9 I got the Cowboys. They fail a lot because they got embarrassed and destroyed by the 49ers, which is, I mean, they're the best team in the league, so you gotta take that with a grain of salt. We just thought the Cowboys were a much better team than what they are, I guess. So, then at 10 I got the Seahawks. I had the Bucks. I had the Bucks at 10 last year. I mean, last week.
They had a bye, so they can't really.
Wait, I thought we were just discussing 6.
Well, do you have anything different than what I have from 6 to 10?
Wait, go over it again.
So we put the Lions at 6, right? Unless you think the Jaguars should be at 6.
No, I'm cool with the Lions.
Lions at 6, Jaguars at 7. 8, the Ravens, they're 3-2. They just lost to the Steelers. And now we have the Cowboys after their loss to the 49ers, and at 10, the Seahawks, who are I think 4-1.
No, they should be 3-1. I think they had a bye.
Oh yeah, they had a bye.
So you can't knock them for not playing a game that they couldn't play. You feel me? That's my thing with that. Like since they didn't play a game, they can't really move up or down. But you can. I mean, they're still regarded as one of the better teams in the NFC.
And the Buccaneers beat the Saints. They had a bye too as well.
Yeah, so I guess you could lead that as a shift. Let that.
Jay, do you disagree with that, or that's cool? I don't even know if he's here.
So what, bro?
I said, do you disagree with that?
No, that's cool.
And do you have the 10? You can go ahead and read the names. Do you have the 10?
No, I don't have a 10.
All right, I'll read them. All right.
Damn. Seahawks play the Bengals next week.
That's a winnable game. Dolphins and then the Bills gonna be right here at 5. All right. Week 6 power rankings. At number 10, we have the Seahawks. At number 9, we have the Cowboys. At number 8, we have the Ravens. At number 7, we have the Jaguars. At number 6, we have the Lions. At number 5, we have the Bills. At number 4, we have the Dolphins. At number 3, we have the Chiefs. At number 2, we have the Eagles. And at number 1, we got the Niners. And that's going to wrap up the episode. Episode 54, about an hour long. I didn't even think it was going to be that long. But, spirited debate. spirited debate about Dak Prescott, which Q is passionate about him. So I mean, I'm not ttoo mad at it. So
people really just be niggas be coming up here lying, and it don't be making no sense because y'all make an excuse for somebody else, but when it comes to Dak Prescott, y'all don't make the same excuse. Y'all don't use the same rationale. Y'all don't use the same context at all when it comes to Dak Prescott. Y'all just don't. Like I've seen every person.
People
I've
lie
seen
about
you, especially you're notorious for using context when you want to use context, but not when it goes against your narrative. Like people know that about you already. Like
in the context of the divisional playoff game, Dak Prescott played better. Now, I mean, Brock Purdy played better. Now, when we talk about people lie and say Dak Prescott is a turnover machine, I always come to the back that Dak Prescott's defense. Like you saw yesterday in the Discord or 2 days ago in the Discord, he was in there lying about him. I don't think Dak sucks. I don't think he's a turnover machine. That's just clearly not true. But we're talking about a one-game sample size in a divisional playoff game where they needed Dak Prescott to just be average in order to get a win. He had a turnover on the 30-yard line and led directly to points. And
how many quarterbacks are playing average against the 49ers?
I think Jalen Hurts played average against the 49ers defense. I think Patrick Mahomes played above average. Who else played average? Who they had a backup point guard play average against them. They almost lost to them last year.
Let's be for real.
Matt Stafford play average against them this season.
Let's be for real.
They had a backup against the Raiders play average against them last year. They did.
And if you put him in there for a second time, does he do it?
Geno Smith played average against him in the playoffs. Yes,
he didn't. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He had a good first half, and he had a very bad second half. Like very bad second half. Like very bad. Like
so a good first half and a very bad second half. That doesn't average out to average.
It depends on what you think. On the scale of what you think good and very bad is. Because if he played 5, like if he on a scale of 1 to 10, if he played a 5 in the first half and he played a 1 in the second half, the average is out to 4 or 3. 3 is bad on a scale of 1 to 10. So it just depends on what you think out of one score, like a grade. You got to grade it and then put the average out, and then you would get what you think is average.
In both their games against them last year in the regular season, Geno Smith had 80%.
You got to understand those are divisional games. That also is a thing. That's a divisional game.
But we've seen quarterbacks play average then. This is not true. Geno Smith is 24-30, 80% passer completion percentage, 197 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's average. 31-44, that's 70%. 238 yards.
1 interception is not an average game, bro. That's not an average. 197 yards and 1 interception is not an average game, bro.
24-30, that's 80. Passer rating was what? 80. That's average. That's about an average game. 31-44, 238 yards and 1 touchdown and no interceptions. That's an average game. That might be a good game for some people.
Yeah, a divisional matchup when you know your opponent and they know you. Things happen. Yeah.
But you just saying that other quarterbacks have played average against 49ers. It just Dak especially is really, really bad against them. He is.
And against everybody else, he's not that bad. Like he's not nowhere near that. So
I never said that. Which I never said he was bad ever. They never came out of my mouth. I said they needed him to be average against the 49ers last season in the playoffs. He was not able to do that. And Dak Prescott was a game manager. He did not turn the ball over. He literally put the ball in harm's way, and it led to points multiple times. So I mean, that's all he didn't make the throws that they needed him to. So yeah, he was below average, and Dak Prescott was average. I mean, Brock Purdy was average. But yeah, we're gonna get this out today. This is gonna be out in a few hours. I'm gonna highlight it by the Dak Prescott Brock Purdy debate we had, and so that's gonna be it in this episode. You guys made it this far. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, follow our social media. It's up there. It's pretty easy to do. We're gonna be out.